Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Phoenix, and this is the Consumer's Guide to Video Games. A Plague Tale, Innocence, 2019, Asobo Studios. A Plague Tale is a third-person stealth survival game where the player takes control of Lady Amicia Darun. Taking place during the Black Death, a group of religious fanatics known as the Inquisition attack the Darun castle and slaughter everyone. Lady Amicia and her brother Hugo escape, but now Amicia must find a way to tend to her sick brother. Meeting an alchemist named Lucas and others along the way, for her little brother, Amicia must begin searching for a cure for her little brother's affliction. Fuck me. Amicia must begin searching for a cure for her little brother's affliction while trying to avoid the plague and the Inquisition. Fuck. I was made aware of this series when A, the PlayStation 5 version of the game was free to play through PlayStation Plus, and B, when Hideo Kojima shouted out the sequel that's coming out next year. I'm glad I decided to check this out. This was a very engaging and creative stealth game. Admittedly, the stealth mechanics in this game are rather rudimentary. A lot of this game is just distract the enemy, move from point A to point B. But how they manage to keep the player engaged is the variety of mechanics in the game as well as the difficulty balancing. As you go along in the game, you get more and more potions and tools and stuff. Each of these things ends up getting incorporated into future encounters. Each encounter then becomes progressively harder as you have multiple methods of killing or distracting enemies. When the plague rats get introduced, you can use them as a weapon, but also have to avoid getting mauled by them. Pure rat encounters require various uses of light sources to get through them, and can escalate in complexity as the game goes on. There are even more action-oriented missions in the game. These require you to dodge a bunch and use your tools wisely at the right moment in order to survive. While the game is simple, there is a variety of things to do and ways to approach it. The art style of this game is incredibly nice. The graphics make full use of the late era PS4's power, and everything is incredibly sleek. With a slight upgrade from the PS5, the game has some new textures and looks really nice. The character models and environments are all really smooth and realistic. The dark lighting really adds to the atmosphere of the game and makes everything look super dirty and run down, as if France has been destroyed by everything that's going on. While the animations can be a tad stiff at times in the in-game stuff, the cutscenes are generally well animated and everything looks super smooth. One of my favorite aspects of the game, though, has to be the score. The perfect medieval score of droning and coarse strings pounding war drums and church choirs. It envelops you in the atmosphere and it hits emotional beats perfectly. It can be incredibly unnerving at times, as it makes rat encounters incredibly scary and overwhelming. The writing in this game is pretty damn good, and it's probably my favorite aspect. The story is really well paced, as every mission is important, aside from one surreal dream sequence, and it pushes the plot along. But what I really love is the world building and the voice this game has. The story reframes the Black Death in dark fantasy terms. While there are plague victims in this game, and the War with England is still going on, everything else in this has been amped up to 11. Instead of just normal rats, we have demonic man-eaters who build blackened nests and swarm in the thousands. To represent the religious paranoia of the time, we have the Inquisition, led by a crazy bishop named Vitalis. Vitalis wants to control the rats himself and rule the world or some sort of nonsense. I don't know. At the center of all this is the Darun family. The son Hugo is afflicted with something known as the Prima Macula, an ancient disease dating back to the dawn of civilization. Okay, so, something that wasn't really communicated properly in this review is that The final boss of this game is Vitalis and Hugo have this giant fucking 3-stage rap battle. And this transitions into what I say next. Continue. The Black Death marked a transition period from the Dark Ages to the medieval Renaissance. And by killing Vitalis in this giant fucking rap battle and essentially stopping the plague, these two kids have brought about the next chapter in European history. And what writer Sebastian Renard has done is make these big, complex historical ideas digestible and easy to understand. It doesn't sugarcoat or play down the horrors of the bubonic plague and the immense damage it did to Europe. What it merely does is hyperbolize it and turn it into a simple story that can be extrapolated into bigger ideas and a want to learn about the history behind the game. With a good cast, including one Charlotte McBurney, giving a solid performance as Lady Amicia, and Stefan Cornicard, I think that's how you say it, as the evil Vitalis. These big ideas in this fantastical world are given emotional weight, the sort needed by the actors, so you are solidly enveloped in the game. In the end, I think this is a hidden gem that flew under the radar a bit. A Plague Tale is an incredibly creative game with a compelling world and story that will hook you from start to finish. If you haven't heard of Plague Tale, definitely make sure this game is on your radar come next year. Recommended. And I'm feeling an 8.5 out of 10 on this game. It's really good. Catch you later, guys.